What's up guys? For today's video we're going to be talking about my Spyderco Shaman. I've owned the Shaman for a couple of months now and I just wanted to give you guys an updated review. Before we get into the review, let's do a quick wrist check. I'm currently rocking my Casio G-Shock Frogman, a fantastic watch. I have done a review on it, so check it out. But if you don't want to see the review, just know that it is highly recommended. Going back to the Shaman, we'll start off with our first talking point, which is price. MSRP for the Shaman is $289. Fortunately, the street price is only $200, or around $202, and that's based on prices I found on eBay, Amazon, and Blade HQ. For price, I give it 5 out of 5, and we'll discuss why I gave it a perfect score in the following talking points. Next talking point is dimensions and weight. We'll start off with the handle. So handle length is 4.42 inches. Handle thickness is 0.53 inches. Blade length is 3.58 inches with a cutting length of 3 inches. And then the thickness is 0.15 inches. Overall, we're looking at an 8-inch long folding knife. And the weight is 5.2 ounces or 146 grams. For dimensions and weight, I give it 5 out of 5. That's just because overall there's not much I would change. I think weight of 5 ounces is perfectly respectable. In my opinion, anything under 5.5 ounces is fine for everyday carry, and 3 to 4 inches is also perfect for everyday carry. Next talking point is blade steel. Blade steel is CPM S30V. The blade steel is the reason why I gave price 5 out of 5. CPM S30V is a premium grade steel. If you go online and you try and buy CPM S30V, you will quickly realize that it is not a cheap steel. So at $200, Spyderco really isn't making that much of a profit, because you got to take into consideration the cost of materials. So a premium grade steel, and then premium handle materials, and then cost to pay their employees, cost to keep their manufacturing plant up and running, marketing, all that stuff. They're really not coming out ahead by a lot, by a large margin here. And that is how I determine the score for price, is based on how much are they ripping me off. And I don't think I'm getting ripped off at all. And you will find that if you go online to see the cost of S30V, you're really getting a fantastic high quality steel. From edge retention to hardness to corrosion resistance, overall quality is fantastic. So normally with a blade steel, you're getting one or the other. You're getting a very tough steel but very hard to maintain, or it's very easy to sharpen but it's very soft and weak. With S30V, you're getting the best of both worlds, and so for a score on blade steel, I give it 5 out of 5. Next talking point is handle material. G10, nothing too crazy here, but still solid quality, no complaints there. So 5 out of 5 for handle material. Not really going to go too deep into it. Next talking point is deployment and lockup. The locking mechanism, you're getting the Spyderco compression lock. If you have any experience with Spyderco, you'll know that that is a fantastic, super strong locking mechanism. There are 3 ways to deploy the knife. You got your standard Spidey flick, and then on the jimping here at the base of the blade, you can do a wrist flick very easily, or just a slow and controlled thumb opening. All 3 methods work flawlessly, very easy to use, very user friendly. So for deployment, no complaints there. And then the lockup is fantastic. No blade play whatsoever. It's super solid. The only issue that I have with the, not so much deployment, but whenever you're closing the knife, is right here, this tip of the forward finger choil. And I think everyone here is going to complain about it. Anyone that owns a Shaman will know what I'm talking about. Is when you close it, here, let's zoom in here. So this part right here comes out right there. So every time you close the knife, you're going to feel, your finger is going to feel that coming in. So it kind of prevents it from closing all the way smoothly. Like it'll come to the right there, and then you have to adjust your finger to close it the rest of the way. Not a big deal at all. The only reason why I'm discussing it is because I just want you to be aware that that is a thing. And because of that, I will dock 1 point off of this score. So for lockup and deployment, I give it 4 out of 5. And please don't read that further than it's just that one small thing, which is really not that big of a deal. Next talking point is ergonomics. Ergonomics is fantastic. You can hold it, choke up on it right here, and use the jimping. And the jimping on Spyderco knives is always 10 out of 10. It's not too aggressive to where it's tearing up your skin or your pockets, but it's just strong enough for you to get a really solid purchase on it. And then you've got this jimping right there on the choil as well. So a very good grip. And that compensates for the lack of grippy texture on the handle scales themselves. Also, you've got the handle shape, which is contoured just perfectly for you to wrap your fingers around it. The only issue that I have is I wish that the bottom half of this handle was a little bit fatter, so I could get maybe more of a, I don't even know how to say it, like more just of a solid grip around it. It kind of feels like it's a little bit too thin on the bottom half. Again, I'm being very nitpicky here, but you know, for a $200 knife, I tend to be a little bit more nitpicky. Holding it choked up on it like this is fantastic. Holding it down here is leaves a little bit to be desired. So for ergonomics, I give it 4 out of 5. Really, it is a great feeling knife. I just wish it was a little bit thicker down there. And again, that's my opinion. So if you are like super in love with the Shaman, as you should be, please don't take offense to it. This is all just my personal preference. So 4 out of 5 for ergonomics. Next talking point is pocketability. Pocketability is fantastic. It comes standard with the tip up right pocket carry clip, but you can adjust that to tip down on the right or left pocket. And then, so really 4 different ways for you to carry it, which is always a great thing. Because of the lack of grippy texture on the scales, it just slides in and out of your pocket beautifully. So pocketability, I give it 5 out of 5. Next talking point is comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this knife looks like with other commonly owned knives, starting off with the Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight. Pretty similar in size. I think the Shaman is just slightly longer. But if you own the Manix 2, then you have a general idea of the size of the Shaman. Both fantastic knives. Next one is the SOG Kiku XR. SOG Kiku XR is slightly smaller, a little bit more chode-like. But I think if you enjoy the SOG Kiku XR, then you are the kind of person that would enjoy a Spyderco Shaman as well. I prefer the Kiku XR more. That's just because the XR mechanism is fantastic, but still 2 very excellent knives. And then last one for you guys today is my Cold Steel Voyager. There we go. That's what they look like. Let's show what they look like both closed and then with the blade out. There you go. Alright, so that's all for comparisons. Next talking point and last talking point are my overall thoughts and should you buy this knife. So for the overall score, averaging all the other scores together, we come at a 4.7 out of 5, and that's really as good a score as you can get with a pocket knife, because there's no such thing as a perfect knife. So anything close to perfect is, in my opinion, the next best thing to perfect. There's one thing that you can't really see with Spyderco knives through pictures or videos, and that is just how solid Spyderco knives are. And this is the perfect representation of that. When you look at the Shaman on pictures on the internet, it kind of looks like a plain, unexciting knife, right? There's really not too many features that are in your face or jump at you. Very simple looking design, as many Spydercos are. And I think a lot of people can agree with me that the first time they ever saw a Spyderco knife, they thought they were hideous. But that changes once you get your hands on one. And this is the same exact thing. like through the pictures, it doesn't look anything special, but when you hold it, you can immediately feel that there is something more to this knife than meets the eye. Just the density of it at 5 ounces, it feels like I'm gonna regret saying this, but at 5 ounces, it feels like it could be an 8 or 10 ounce carry knife. Not because of the heft, but because it just feels so solid. Like the solidness of it makes it feel more dense than what it really is, and that's a good thing. Like it's almost like tank-like, and it's hard to show that through a screen. You really have to get your hands on one. If you can go to like a store and see one on display and carry it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And really, it's such a joy to own this knife because of its strength, because of how solid it is, but also because it is so user-friendly and easy to use, quick to use, and you really can't ask for more out of a pocket knife. So 4.7 out of 5, I think, accurately represents the score that should belong to this knife. I think it accurately represents how I feel about this knife. It is not perfect. It does have some things that I would like to change about it. But if there, no changes happened and I was stuck with this knife forever, I'll be perfectly fine with that. Very respectable knife. No shame in owning a Shaman. Highly recommended. I think that if you're on a budget, there's definitely other knives out there that are just as strong, if not stronger, at a more budget-friendly price. But if $200 is something that you can afford without breaking the bank, then there's nothing wrong with getting a Shaman, a Spyderco Shaman today. I highly recommend it. That's really all I got to say. I hope that this knife review helps you with your next knife purchase. Thank you for watching, and tune in for my next episode. All right, bye.